Gal Gadot, known for portraying Wonder Woman, has broken her silence on the controversy surrounding Rachel Zegler's controversial comments about Snow White. The young star is set to play Snow White in the upcoming live-action remake. But why is Gal Gadot speaking out now? And what does she have to say about Zegler's comments? Join us to find out. Why Snow White sparked so much talk. When Disney announced that Rachel Zegler would play Snow White in their live-action remake, people everywhere started talking. Some were thrilled, seeing it as a bold and beautiful step forward. After all, Rachel is a talented actress with Latina roots, and for many, it was exciting to see someone new take on the role of a fairy tale princess. But not everyone felt the same way. A few critics believed that Snow White should look exactly like the character in the old stories, with skin as white as snow. This sparked a lot of debate online and in the news. Rachel didn't stay silent. In early 2022, she gently explained how, growing up in a Spanish-speaking family, she had always loved the story of Snow White, but there weren't many princesses who looked like her. So, for Rachel, playing this role wasn't just about acting, it was about showing little girls everywhere that they too could dream of being princesses. In August 2023, it was revealed that another Latina actress, Renata Vaca, had also auditioned for the part. She shared how the auditions welcomed people of all backgrounds. Everyone had to sing a Disney princess song to start, and it proved that the casting team cared more about heart and talent than appearance. Later, in October 2024, Rachel shared something new about the character in the updated story. In this version, Snow White was named after she and her family survived a snowstorm. It wasn't just a name, it stood for strength and bravery. This change gave the character more meaning, showing that she was more than a girl waiting for a prince. But even with these exciting updates, trouble followed. Rachel admitted she had mixed feelings about the old 1937 film. She thought Snow White's story was too focused on waiting for a prince to save her. Rachel believed this new version should be about courage, friendship, and finding one's own voice. At a Disney event, she playfully joked about how the original prince seemed to follow Snow White around, which she found a little odd. She hinted that the new film would move away from a simple love story and focus more on Snow White's personal journey. Some people loved this idea, while others were upset, claiming it was changing too much of a beloved classic. Critics accused Rachel of misunderstanding what makes fairy tales magical. One branding expert even said she wasn't careful enough with her words for someone starring in a major Disney movie. Tensions rose when David Hand, the son of one of the original film's directors, said his father and Walt Disney wouldn't have approved of the new version. Things got even more dramatic when a conservative media company, The Daily Wire, announced their live-action Snow White to stick to the classic tale. But after their chosen star left in late 2024, the project quietly disappeared. By October 2024, Rachel spoke again, saying she felt sad that her words were misunderstood. She explained that the movie would still have a love story and that she never meant to hurt anyone's feelings. She reminded people that jokes can sometimes be taken the wrong way, especially when people care deeply about a story. What she didn't explain was her relationship with Gal, but let's dive into that. The quiet tension between Zegler and Gal. At the start of filming, everything seemed perfect. The two actresses shared smiles, posed for pictures, and looked like they were having a wonderful time working together. People close to the project even said there was no sign of any trouble between them. But as the months went by, something quietly changed. Though they stayed polite and professional during filming, a small distance started to grow between them. Those close to the film later shared that their very different views on world events began to create an invisible wall. Neither of them openly fought or argued, but their opinions made it harder to stay close. Things took a turn after the Oscars in March. Both Rachel and Gal presented an award together and looked friendly on stage. But afterward, Rachel posted a message on Instagram calling Gal a career beauty queen. Some people laughed it off as a joke, but others felt it was a bit mean-spirited. The comment drew attention, and whispers of tension between the two actresses began to spread. After that, Disney quietly started keeping them apart during interviews and public events. They stopped appearing side by side, and fans noticed. People online and in the media began wondering if there was a secret rivalry. Then, in August 2024, things got even more complicated. Around the same time the first Snow White trailer came out, Rachel shared a message online supporting Palestine. Because of the ongoing conflict in Gaza and Gal's background as an Israeli actress, the situation became sensitive. Gal sadly received threats, and Disney had to increase her security. Producer Mark Platt flew to New York to speak with Rachel, hoping she would remove the post, but Rachel chose not to. This made promoting the movie even more difficult, as the tension between them was no longer just private. It had become a public matter. When Snow White was finally released, fans noticed something else. On social media, Rachel thanked many people for their support, including the director, the crew, and other actors. But one name was missing: Gal Gadot. Rachel posted kind words about her publicists, her stylists, and others who helped her through the press tour, but Gal wasn't mentioned anywhere. Their relationship is one to behold, and Gal will have something to say in this issue. What do you think she said? Let's find out. Graceful silence through the storm. After the excitement and chatter online about the Snow White remake, many people began to wonder how Gal Gadot felt about everything happening around her. While Rachel Zegler's comments and social media posts grabbed headlines, Gal quietly took a different path. She didn't respond with angry messages or join in the heated conversations on the internet. Instead, she chose peace and calm. Gal focused on what she loved most, promoting the film and showing kindness to her fans. No matter what people said about her, she kept her smile and stayed professional. Even after Rachel called her a professional pageant queen in a post that many thought was unkind, Gal didn't say a single bad word in return. People who know her say this is simply who she is. She believes in staying graceful, especially when times get tough. Meanwhile, Rachel faced a storm of criticism online. Some people felt her comments about Snow White and about Gal were unnecessary and disrespectful. Others defended her, and soon social media was filled with debates, arguments, and opinions from every direction. Things became even more serious when Rachel posted her message supporting Palestine. Because Gal is from Israel, this added tension to an already difficult situation. Through it all, Gal kept her focus. She continued showing up to events, smiling for cameras, and thanking her supporters. She didn't let herself get pulled into the chaos. Her calm and kind response showed the world that sometimes the strongest statement is made without saying anything at all. To better understand this difference in both of their lives, we have to view it all from decades ago. Let's start with Gal's life as a child and her journey. The sweet early life of Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot, loved by many around the world today, was born on April 30th, 1985, in Petah Tikva, Israel. Not long after, her family moved to Rosh Hayin, where she grew up in a warm and happy home. Her father, Michael, was an engineer, and her mother, Irit, was a physical education teacher who taught Gal the value of staying active and healthy. Gal always spoke fondly about the close bond her family shared. Gal came from a Jewish family with roots in Poland, Austria, Germany, Russia, and the Czech Republic. Before she was born, her parents changed their last name from Greenstein to Gadot, which means riverbanks in Hebrew. Interestingly, her first name, Gal, means wave, making her name a beautiful match with nature. One touching story in her family is about her grandfather, Abraham Weiss. Born in 1928 in what was then Czechoslovakia, he faced greater hardships during World War II. At just 13, Abraham lost his father and was taken with his family to the Auschwitz concentration camp. He was the only one who survived. After the war, he moved to Israel, joined the army, and later spent his life sharing his story so people would never forget what happened. When Gal was 8, her family moved to the Givat Tal neighborhood. She grew up in a house filled with love, traditions, and strong family values. From a young age, Gal loved sports. Her mother signed her up for swimming lessons when she was just 4. Later, she tried tennis, basketball, and volleyball. Alongside sports, she trained in dance for over 10 years, from ballet to hip-hop, and even dreamed of becoming a choreographer one day. As a child, Gal had a soft, quiet voice. She went through speech therapy, which helped her speak clearly and with confidence. She was naturally curious and loved learning about history. At age 11, she visited Poland and toured Holocaust sites like Auschwitz, a journey that touched her heart deeply. Though she was offered a chance to model at 12, Gal said no. She preferred spending time doing other things she enjoyed. But later, she realized modeling could be a fun way to travel and meet new people. She grew up speaking Hebrew, but started learning English in school so she could understand her favorite American TV shows like Seinfeld and Friends. In school, Gal was bright and loved biology. After finishing her studies, she enjoyed a little break before starting her mandatory military service. Even though modeling offers came her way, she worked at a fast food restaurant because she valued a simple, honest job. In a surprising twist, her mom and a family friend secretly signed her up for the Miss Israel beauty contest. Gal didn't expect much from it, but that moment quietly opened a new chapter in her life. Those sweet, simple years shaped Gal Gadot into the graceful, strong, and kind-hearted woman the world admires today. Life changed forever at 18. Back in 2004, something incredible happened to a young girl named Gal Gadot. She was just 18 years old, tall, beautiful, and full of life. She was signed up for the Miss Israel Beauty Contest, which took place at the Haifa Congress Center. Gal didn't think she would win. In fact, she joined mostly for fun and had no big hopes. But to everyone's surprise, and her own, Gal was crowned Miss Israel. It was a moment she would never forget. The crown was placed on her head by Sivan Klein and Yona Yahav, and along with the title, she also won a shiny new Citroën C3 car. For the cheerful young girl from Rosh Hashanah, it felt like a dream. After her big win, Gal traveled to Ecuador to represent Israel in the Miss Universe 2004 competition. But deep down, she didn't want to win. Gal later admitted she rebelled a little during the pageant. She showed up late to events, didn't like wearing fancy gowns, and made it clear she wasn't aiming for the crown. While many admired her beauty, Gal knew her heart belonged somewhere else. Before giving up her title, Gal made it clear how important it was for her to serve in the military. In Israel, it's common for young people to join the army, and Gal felt proud to do her part. So, at 2005, at age 20, she joined the Israel Defense Forces. She went through tough training, woke up at 5 a.m. every day, and later became a combat instructor. Gal taught soldiers fitness, gymnastics, discipline, and even learned Krav Maga, a special self-defense technique. She wore the uniform for 2 years and was proud of everything she achieved. In 2007, while still serving, Gal was chosen to be part of a special photo shoot for Maxim magazine called Women of the Israel Defense Forces. The photos became famous and even made it to the front page of the New York Post. While some people in Israel didn't like the idea of soldiers posing in swimsuits, Gal calmly explained that as a model, it was just part of her job, and she didn't see anything wrong with it. After the photo shoot, her fame started to grow. She soon became the face of an international ad campaign for a perfume called Prada Ellis. At the same time, Gal was studying law and international relations at IDC Herzliya, now Reichman University. She was serious about her studies and loved watching the show Ally McBeal, which inspired her interest in law. But life had other plans for Gal. One day, a casting director from London saw her modeling photos and asked her to audition for a James Bond film, Quantum of Solace. At first, Gal didn't believe she was a good fit. She thought she was too serious and worried about speaking English. But with a little push from her agent, she gave it a try. Although she didn't get the role, it went to another actress named Olga Kurilenko. Gal loved the experience and told her agent to let her know about any future acting roles. Soon after, Gal landed a part in an Israeli TV show called Bubot, playing a character named Miriam. She found out she got the role on the very same day she started college. Not long after, during Hanukkah, she starred as a singing, dancing mermaid in a holiday musical show for kids called Festival Underwater. It was clear that Gal had a natural talent for entertaining people. Then, just 3 months after her Bond audition, the same casting director recommended her for a role in Fast and Furious 4. The studio asked for a video audition and was so impressed that they flew Gal and her agent to Los Angeles. There she met with Vin Diesel, the star of the movie. It was up to him to decide if she would join the cast. Out of 6 actresses, Vin Diesel chose Gal Gadot to play Giselle Yashar. That moment marked the start of Gal's rise to international fame. Stardom, a place for giants. Gal Gadot's life was quietly changing in 2010. Bit by bit, her acting career was growing. That year, she landed small roles in 2 Hollywood movies. One was Night and Day, an action comedy. The other was Date Night, a fun movie where she got to work with famous actor Mark Wahlberg. Even though these roles were tiny, they meant a lot to Gal. They were small steps that helped her shine in a big, busy world filled with stars. In 2011, Gal returned as Giselle Yashar in Fast 5, a character fans truly loved. This time, her character's story was deeper. She was given a background in the Israeli Mossad. Director Justin Lin liked Gal's real-life military experience and added it to the film. It was one of those rare times when Gal's personal story and movie role came together perfectly. That same year, she acted in an Israeli TV show called Asfur, playing Kiki, a sweet cafe owner in Amsterdam. It gave her a chance to try something new and show people she could do more than just action movies. In 2012, Gal appeared in a drama series called Kathmandu, which told the story of a young Jewish couple running a shelter for travelers in Nepal. Though the show didn't become famous worldwide, it was important for Gal. It gave her more experience and let her act in her language. At that time, she was reportedly earning $800 a day for acting, a clear sign that things were moving in the right direction. Then came 2013, another big year for Gal. She returned for Fast and Furious 6 and even did some of her stunts. People were impressed by her courage. That year, she was also offered a role in a Disney movie, but she turned it down because they wanted her to shave her head. Many believed it might have been a part in a Marvel film, but it was never confirmed. In November 2013, Gal was invited to audition for a role in Batman v Superman. A month later, it was official. Gal Gadot would play Wonder Woman. Back then, even the movie didn't have a title, but fans everywhere were buzzing with excitement. Gal later shared that the audition wasn't easy. It was long, stressful, and full of waiting. She first auditioned without knowing which character she was trying out for. Later, she acted alongside Ben Affleck, and finally, director Zack Snyder asked if she knew about Wonder Woman. After a tough screen test and weeks of hoping, Gal got the call she had been dreaming of. She called herself the luckiest woman alive. But it wasn't always easy for Gal. She admitted she nearly gave up acting. Living in Los Angeles wasn't simple, and she faced rejection after rejection. Even after being in Fast and Furious, she wondered if acting was worth it. It wasn't something she dreamed of as a child. It became a passion later in life. Over time, her curiosity turned into real love for the craft. She also spoke about how she often lost roles to bigger stars. One famous example was the part of Imperator Furiosa in Mad Max: Fury Road, which went to Charlize Theron. It sometimes felt like Gal was always just behind someone more famous. But she didn't let it break her. She stayed strong and kept believing in herself. In June 2014, Gal signed a deal to star in 3 Wonder Woman films for Warner Brothers, reportedly earning $300,000 for each. At Comic-Con, fans got a first look at her new Wonder Woman costume. At first, some people criticized her appearance, saying she wasn't right for the role, but Gal proved them wrong. She trained every single day, sword fighting, martial arts, horseback riding, and gained 17 pounds of muscle. She showed the world she was more than ready. That same year, she starred in an Israeli movie called Kicking Out Shoshana. Later, she was offered a lead role in Ben-Hur, but had to say no because of Batman v Superman. Before all this, Gal had even turned down a role in Man of Steel because she was pregnant at the time. In 2016, fans finally saw Gal as Wonder Woman in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. While opinions about the movie were mixed, nearly everyone agreed that Gal's performance was a highlight. She brought strength, grace, and heart to the character. She raised the bar for female superheroes everywhere. In 2023, Gal surprised fans with appearances in Shazam, Fury of the Gods, The Flash, and returned to the Fast and Furious world in Fast X. That same year, she was offered the lead in Barbie, but had to turn it down because she was too busy. Gal and her husband also worked together to produce Heart of Stone, a Netflix action film. Even though critics had mixed feelings, the movie became one of the most popular on the platform. Then, in 2024, Gal took on a totally different challenge. She played the evil queen in Disney's live-action Snow White. She trained for a month just to nail the singing parts for her audition. In the end, she got the role, surprising many people. While reviews were mixed, many praised her for bravely trying something new. Now let's look at that of Rachel. What was her upbringing like, and how did it propel her to the height of fame she finds herself in? A sweet beginning in a small town. Rachel Ann Zegler was born on May 3, 2001, in Hackensack, New Jersey. Her parents, Gina and Craig Zegler, named her Rachel after the famous character Rachel Green from the hit TV show Friends. From the very start, Rachel wasn't alone. She had an older sister named Jacqueline, who was always by her side while they grew up. Rachel's family was a beautiful mix of cultures. Her mom, Gina, came from Colombia. In fact, Rachel's grandmother made a brave choice in the 1960s, leaving Barranquilla, Colombia, and moving to the United States, hoping for a brighter, better life for her family. On her dad's side, Rachel carried proud Polish roots, making her heritage rich and colorful. She grew up in the quiet town of Clifton, New Jersey. Though it was a peaceful place, Rachel sometimes faced unkind comments about her mixed background, especially on social media. It wasn't easy, but Rachel found happiness in something special: the arts. Her love for performing started very early. At just 4 years old, she saw her first Broadway show, Beauty and the Beast. The songs, the colors, and the magic of the stage captured her heart and stayed with her. By the time she was 12, Rachel got her first role on stage, playing Sprinzy in a school play of Fiddler on the Roof. From that moment, she knew this was what she wanted to do. Rachel threw herself into learning everything she could about acting and singing. She worked hard at Immaculate Conception High School, where she shined in school musicals. Whether she was Belle in Beauty and the Beast or Princess Fiona in Shrek the Musical, Rachel gave each role her whole heart. Her performances were so good that she was nominated for the Metropolitan High School Theater Award for Leading Actress every single year. But she didn't stop there. Rachel also played Serena in Legally Blonde, Cosette in Les Miserables, and Millie in Thoroughly Modern Millie. Each character she brought to life showed her amazing ability to tell stories through song and acting. In 2015, Rachel decided to share her talent with more people by starting her YouTube channel. She posted videos of herself singing, and slowly, people started to notice. Fans loved her beautiful voice, and soon, even media outlets began talking about this talented young girl from New Jersey. How a 16-year-old Rachel Zegler's dream came true. Something truly magical happened to Rachel Zegler in January 2018, and it changed her life forever. Famous movie director Steven Spielberg posted a message on Twitter. He was looking for new young actors for his movie remake of West Side Story. At just 16 years old, Rachel saw the message and felt a spark inside her. She knew she had to try. Without wasting a moment, Rachel grabbed her phone and recorded herself singing 2 songs from the musical. Tonight and I Feel Pretty. These songs were extra special to her because just a year before, she had played Maria on stage at the Bergen Performing Arts Center. Out of more than 30,000 auditions, Rachel's video stood out. It wasn't just good, it was unforgettable. And soon she got the news she could only dream about. She had been chosen to play Maria in the movie. It would be her very first movie role, and it felt like a fairy tale come true for the small-town girl from New Jersey. When West Side Story hit theaters in December 2021, people loved it. Viewers and movie critics couldn't stop talking about Rachel's beautiful singing and emotional acting. Everyone could see that a new star had arrived. Because of her amazing performance, Rachel was nominated for the Critics' Choice Movie Award for Best Young Performer. But the best moment came when she won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Rachel made history as the first Colombian actress to ever win in this category, and she was only 20 years old. After the success of West Side Story, Rachel's career took off. In 2023, she appeared in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, a fun superhero movie. Even though the film got mixed reviews, Rachel's fans loved seeing her in an action-packed, exciting role. That same year, Rachel starred as Lucy Gray Baird in The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. The movie got mixed to good reviews, but one thing was clear: Rachel's performance shined. Critics called her mesmerizing and praised how she could express so much emotion with just a look. But not everything was easy. In October 2023, Rachel was supposed to film Paddington in Peru, but a big Hollywood actors' strike stopped production. She had to leave the project, and another actress, Carla Toos, took her place. Still, Rachel didn't let this stop her. In 2024, she starred in a comedy called YTWK, directed by Kyle Mooney. It premiered at the South by Southwest Festival. Even though the movie got mixed reactions, people once again fell in love with Rachel's warmth and charm on screen. Later that year, she reached a huge milestone, her first ever Broadway show. She played Juliet in a modern musical version of Romeo and Juliet. The show, directed by Sam Gold, with music by Jack Antonoff, ran from September 2024 to February 2025, and Rachel wowed the audience every night. Rachel's talent didn't stop there. She also lent her voice to a character in Spellbound, an animated musical movie on Netflix. People loved hearing her sing in this magical film. Then came one of the biggest roles of her career, Snow White. In 2025, Rachel played the famous fairy tale princess in Disney's live-action remake of Snow White. Fans were so excited to see her in this classic role, and it marked another big moment in her growing career. And there's still more to come. In the summer of 2025, Rachel will make her debut in London's famous West End Theatre District. She'll play Eva Peron in a new production of the beloved musical Evita at the London Palladium. It's another dream come true, and a chance for Rachel to share her beautiful voice and talent with fans from all over the world. Rachel Zegler's journey is proof that big dreams can come true with heart, courage, and hard work. Even though both women continued with their work and smiled for the cameras, it was clear their friendship had quietly faded. Their story became a small hidden part of Snow White's history. A reminder that even in the sparkling world of movies, differences and misunderstandings can quietly pull people apart. Outro. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.